Good day, everyone. Welcome to Refined Talks. Today we have a special guest, a very good friend of mine, a guy that I've done a lot of work with over the years. We work together with Signature Poetry to bring a poetry platform to the artists of Kwakwa, which was a great success when we were running it. And together, right now, we're still working together on other projects, mainly Kwakanda projects. Kwakanda is all about us, people of Kwakwa, people who are young entrepreneurs with initiatives coming together to better where we come from. But today we're talking about something different. We're talking something about, as men, what do we think men should be? Hlox the Rebel is the guy next to me. He calls that being a phenomenal man. Hlox, how's it, my brother?
Good at yourself, bro.
Man, I'm good. I've been looking forward to doing this with you. And I hope it's going to be as entertaining and as informative as I think it will be.
I was looking forward to this when I'm loving the setup. It's amazing.
Thanks, my guy. Thanks. You know, we always try to do these things, eh?
All right.
All right. So before we carry on, can you just give the people a background of who Hlox the Rebel is, your real name? Because I call you Hlox Rebel now, but you have so many different names. Just give us your bio, my man.
The name is Hlox Crispy Malums now because I'm over 30. I turned Crispy Malums when I was 30, but the real name is Lehlohonolo Mabaso, born in Putadichaba, raised in Putadichaba, grew up in Kwakwa in 1988.
Wow.
From two amazing parents. My father, Neo Mabaso, and my mother, Mjadekumu Mabaso. I come from a family of, I have about 6 siblings.
So you the 7 of you in total?
Yeah, there's 7 of us.
Okay.
Yeah. I have 2 older sisters, and then I'm the first guy in the family, and then the rest follows. Hot man. I'm an art entrepreneur. We as you said, that we've been working with Signature. I'm a poet. I'm a writer, an author, and then now we are in Kwakanda doing community development work. That's just about me in a nutshell.
Okay, great, man. So we want to talk about Phenomental Men.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the whole idea and concept of Phenomental Men, and why? How did you come up with it, and why? And I want to ask you further questions about that. Yeah.
The idea behind Phenomental Men, when I PC at the poem Phenomenal Women, and then I once watched a movie by them poem, like it's a group of women, and then one was like a line, so I'm a phenomenal woman, and then all the other women just joined in, and then always as a phenomenal woman, I do this, I do that, I do this. I'm like, we do not have such a poem as guys. And then it's like, how about we have Phenomental Men, and then these are men who impact their society positively. As a phenomenal man, this is what I have to do, and this is what I'm not supposed to do. So it was about that, having a name, an umbrella, mauti ashabo awela under a. He's a phenomenal man. He's a good guy. Because he's a phenomenal man. So that was the idea behind it.
Wow. And so what traits do you wish a phenomenal man must have? Let's talk about, because the word phenomenal comes from phenomenal, and mental, which is like the mindset, right?
Yeah.
A guy with the right mindset, isn't it?
With the right mindset.
So what are the traits of a phenomenal man?
A phenomenal man, it was how the phenomenal man came after Hotrenda men are trash.
Oh.
And then no, I'm not trash, but what are you? So it was about that man with integrity, respect, self-respect for yourself and other people, men who value themselves as much as they value the next person, it's like looking out for one another, like brotherhood more than anything. Phenomenal Men is about brotherhood more than anything, because it's through brotherhood for you to become a phenomenal man. In brotherhood, phenomenal man, and then a phenomenal man, or one side values behind, then you're like, you know what, I want to be like this guy. So that's what it's about. It's about brotherhood, it's about self-respect, it's about respecting our women and children, and then protecting them as well, while protecting ourselves. True.
So it's one thing saying that somebody must be a phenomenal man. I always try to bring something closer to home, which is about myself, which is about yourself, right? Are you a phenomenal man right now? Have you always been a phenomenal man? Do you mind sharing your journey as a person to reaching phenomenal man status?
The phenomenon re qadile ho bua about the phrase, and it was in 2016. It was around 2016, and I think in 2016 I was a toxic boyfriend, man. I was out of it. I drank a lot. I didn't know what being a phenomenal man meant. And once a relationship, you do not see that you are a toxic boyfriend to a relationship. It takes you being outside a relationship to see that, you know what, I was actually a toxic boyfriend. It was after my previous relationship that and then I stepped back, and then I watched you know, reflected on all the things that I used to do. No, man, I wasn't a great guy. And then I started taking the journey, you know, how do I move forward? How do I move forward? How do I become a better man? Because I do not want to be this type of man anymore. I remember Olafitla in Bloemfontein in 2017, Mine Refinery. Then after that, I was like, I have to be a totally different person, you know. Like, before moving into the next relationship, I was like, I have to be a new person before get like that. Because we think abuse as only physical, and then back then emotionally and mentally manipulate you know, being that guy that I saw, you know what, I have to be on this journey, and I cannot say that I'm a phenomenal man yet, but I'm so close. I can feel it, because as so what's that living, and then remind myself that we cannot do this at the end of the day.
Wow. I mean, I can totally relate, because sometimes it takes you looking back or getting feedback to realize that you're not as great as you think you are.
How to obana yourself, your previous self, in other people. I'm like, but this is not cool. And then we born happen. Oh, this is what I used to do, and this is what I have to fix, so that because you've been there. Yo, that's not cool. That's not how you're supposed to behave. And then,
can you give us one example of something that you see a guy doing now that you used to do before, and you're like, nah?
Thinking that I'm entitled to a woman's body. Whether you are in a relationship with your partner or but thinking that because you are in a relationship, because the two, you are entitled to their body, you know, just because you're in a relationship, it's always yes, so it's always yes, you know. Learning how no once, that's when you have to stop and not try and convince them. I think I was that type of guy. So when actually a woman says no to a guy, and then when I'm convinced, and now I know that's wrong, you know. We have to take the first no and then step back. So I used to be that guy, and she's playing hard to get, she's doing this, she's doing that. I have to convince you over and over again until they let in, which was not right, because by Milawa ya country, the first no, the first no sticks. You cannot go any further after the first no.
And I believe a lot of that comes from growing up, what you saw growing up, and Mahotman right? I want to actually share one story, a personal story as well, about what I think I used to do. And also based on what I got from Majid. I remember when I was, I think around 15, 16, I was hanging out with my hot man who were like 5 years older than me. And I was in Joburg at the time. So we're standing outside the gate, and then a lady passes. And then this lady passes, and Majida, they holler at her, catcalling, right? And then this lady ignores them. And as she walks out, and they start swearing at her, right? So here I am, a 15-year-old boy, looking at these 20-year-old, 22-year-olds doing that. What do I think? I thought this is what you do. This is what you do, right? True. So, and then I got to university. I think I was 19 at the time. Got to university, and I'm working with new friends now. university guys, and then I see this nice girl passing by, and I actually hollered at her. I'm like, yo, my sister, how are you? And she ignored me. And guess what I did? Right? I did exactly what those guys did. Yeah. And lucky for me at the time, I had friends who did not come from the same background, and they called me to order at the same time. And I never did that ever again. You know, how many people actually get an opportunity like that to be told on the spot, Rio, my guy, that's not the right thing to do?
It was actually recent, Elena. We were in Poetry Africa. Remember, I was chilling in the quads that we are chilling. And then Hopasa, this beautiful lady. And then and then I turn with her. And then again, Hotela conversationing. And when I come back to the conversation, I can see that Kwaz's face has changed now. And it's like, yo, Hlox, not you. Not you.
Wow.
Just like that. I stopped. I didn't say anything, but it was the way I looked at her. And then he called me out, like, not you, bro. Not you.
Wow.
And then I was like, you know what? It's still a journey. Still a journey.
Yeah.
I'm transforming, becoming a phenomenal man.
Yeah. And how important is that for guys to call each other, especially like phenomenal men?
Yeah.
How important is it for them to be bold to call out other guys on such things as catcalling, those type of behaviors that are trashy behaviors?
I'm gonna make an example, especially more Kasimo, you know, on weekends. I used to go out a lot on weekends with other guys, and you know, we go into different clubs, club hopping and everything, and you'd be shocked at the number of guys had delayed the case study.
Wow.
You know, seriously, like guys know that this and this happened at such a night, but then they didn't call it out, right? They just chill, and then they talk about it in corners and everything. But we know that we all have that one friend who treats women like trash. And we, as their friends, we have to call them out, because every time it goes to a Kibanana, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Well, now, I don't know. I think I don't feel like it's a solution. I don't feel like it's a solution, but somehow, but they need that conversation, but they're not ready to have that conversation. Hence, I now chill with guys like you, because at this moment, I'm the one who needs guidance from guys who have traveled the distance, you know. So like we have to, as guys, man, like a conversation, the very same way re rutana re le banyana how ho shela like o tsholo go le mauti ba o la go ruta the idea ya hore cat calling and then insulting them, like we should teach it now hore this is how you treat her. If she says no, do not, you know, like have a private conversation, because once one of our guys actually flop, and then we don't be about to feel like and guys don't like talking, like we need those conversations where you can see, alright, man, this guy is not doing things the way they're supposed to be done, and then you can just call your guy on the side, hey, yo, this is what you did on the other night and I didn't like it, and I'm pretty sure if I didn't like it and I could see it from a distance, the lady didn't like it as well. I think that's how we'll be able to change, through conversation, dialogues and such things.
Wow. I mean, yo, man, it's such an important thing to do. It's such an important conversation to have, because I know personally I've been guided by a lot of guys, different guys, brothers, older men, and it's hearing them call me out on things that has shaped me, you know. It has shaped me a lot. I mean, I'm a human being. We're all human beings, and we only do what we're conditioned to do, right? So on social media, especially on Twitter, every now and then you'd hear men's conference, this virtual men conference that never happens. How do you feel about that?
The first time I saw that there was going to be a men's conference, I was excited. I was so excited. I check out venue with a poster. Where is this happening? Who? And they even have the speakers.
Yeah.
Because Mama's going to be a speaker, ever. And then they even talk about the men's conference like it has happened. You know, today at the men's conference, whatever. We have to. I feel like social media is fun, but there are issues that, like the very same way that Fees Must Fall went from being a hashtag to being an actual movement, a protesting against student rights and free education. I feel like that's what men's conference should be. Like, it's been a lot of years in this fella. Nobody know. We've never seen it. In the way like, I feel like it's about time, because we know, we've seen the numbers, people follow it. It's not there, but then guys are ready. They even set up a date, and I thought the real one was going to happen last year because we were in COVID. Thought it was going to be virtual, and then we were really going to sit down and start talking about all the issues to change and then impact the society. I feel like now is the perfect time for us as young black men to come together and actually organize a proper men's conference. We really need to talk. It can't be a joke anymore. It's bad, man.
Yeah.
I really feel like it's about time that we came together and then organized one.
Do you feel that you'd like to organize one, like a Phenomental Men's Conference? Because I mean, if you just say men's conference, it feels like you're riding on what they're doing already. But Phenomental Men, because I honestly love the concept.
I would really love to organize one. I would really love to organize one. I know that with the team of guys that we work with, they would love to organize one. And I know a whole lot of guys that I see on socials through their status updates, or this man sounds like a Phenomental Man, a type of man who could be at the Phenomental Men's Conference. We'd really love to organize one, hopefully this year, because we really need to talk now, especially in Kwakwa, as we can see what's happening with men, and then we are losing boys and a lot of things. We need to talk now and come up with solutions now, so that when you impact the next community or Fitamo, you create a community of Phenomental Men, and then or create a community. The very same way that gangsterism spreads, Phenomental Men can be that sort of gangsterism.
A gang of positive men.
A gang of positive men.
You spoke about young boys now. A lot is happening that is negative with our young brothers. How do you feel about role models in Kasi? Let's just talk about our hood.
Growing up in Naganala, there were stages. If I'm at this age, I'm playing Lebo Tapelo, Lebo Siva, Lebo Mang. This is my age group. And then when I let those 16 years old guys, but in Batala, we took out to and then they are within that group. And then when I who are in their 20s now. And you would never see a 16-year-old sharing a cigarette with a 20-year-old or Akatlas or 20 or 14 or whatever. Like like they could even send you to the stores and then tell you to run, and you would run and come back. The reason I think that now the boys do not have role models in the hood is because somehow it's like there's no age difference anymore. You can find a 32-year-old drinking with a 16-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lack of role models, Mokasi. It's so bad. So as we were talking with the other guys, Maobane, how about I have one already. Like you see, just roaming around. You don't know what's happening, or the way or there's something happening at his place. Like, how about you? It's finally the mama. You remember? So now I think I grew up with it. In my law, I had John Tate. I also had another one, Guest Pamans. I feel like I failed him because he's now smoking substances in town because and then now I have another one, but like we have to just pick one boy, and then this is my boy. Now you talk. You are Grotman movement. Be a Grotman. Be a Grotman to someone. You don't just have to be a Grotman to Banabantu. Be a Grotman to one strategy. Maybe Hansa Hola okay, in front of everyone else. But if they call Hlox a hot man, and
Yeah.
Hlox can sit me down.
Yeah.
If Hlox comes here, so we do not have that. If we could have just one, we do not have money. It's not even about money. It's not even about buying clothes. Just be a hot man to one boy. Impacting one boy can make a huge difference. So if you can just go out there, have one boy, be a hot man to one boy, we could make a huge difference.
Wow. Now that is definitely needed. I think that's one of the reasons why I established the Phenomental Boys. I borrowed the name from you, the Phenomental Boys coaching program that I have, where for 6 months I'm taking boys through a program where I'm adding value in different ways, confidence, discipline, and many other things that making them think differently about jobs of the future. At the end, I want the boy to be very confident and to also be respectful of themselves and someone else. And you are also part of that program for training the kids. How do you feel about playing that role?
As a huge role, man. As a huge role, especially because that's what I've always wanted to do. You know, as young stress that I did, like just a couple of weeks back, at the Tabamufuzanyana Secure Center, with the boys in there. Like every time I see them, I'm like, imagine if we had reached them before they did what they did that ended them you know. So after seeing that, I'm like, I do not want to see another black boy in here. So it gives me an opportunity to sort of close prison doors and open opportunity doors, you know. Whatever I have just about 5 if like the leader that the gang the jwalo ba khona honka bafana bana and just sit with them and share stories libona, and then they listen, young boys listen. So if I'm able to just sit and then give them my knowledge and my experience, because and then help them avoid some of the things it's a great honor. And more than anything, I feel like we could have a leadership, like with the program. Maybe eventually we're going to have a leadership academy for boys, where we just have a lot of boys doing what boys want to do, you know. Too.
And one of the reasons why I was compelled to start the program is because I had a lot of requests from single mothers, right? You were fortunate enough to have both parents. Your father is still present. Cool man. Is a cool, what do you call it? A cool bay, right? There's a lot of mothers who are single parents. And they don't know how to deal with young boys, especially boys that are going through the adolescent stage. What do you have to say to a parent, as a single parent, a single mom with a boy, that because they don't know the behavioral change when we go into puberty? Do you have any advice or anything that you'd like to say to that single mom?
I think it will also come back to Phenomental Boys program, Phenomental Men program. Pick a Phenomental Man as a single mother. You know a Phenomental Man in your group, you know a Phenomental Man in your family, you know a Phenomental Man at work. And then just ask that one man, or you know what, I'm a single mother. My boy needs a role model. Can you do that? Can you be that to my boy? You know, maybe on weekends, if the guy you know, just like the mothers didn't have good intuition. This is a good guy. It doesn't have to be the person that you are in a relationship with. Just someone in the family, someone in your friend cycle. Maybe you know, how about you become a role model there here and teach him how to be a man, because he's gonna grow up and then nobody changes this around with him, and then before we know it, he's impregnated again. And by that age, so reach out, just reach out, and then find someone a role model.
Justice, man, you just mentioned something very important, especially around the sexual changes of young boys. You know, it's very sad to find out that boys are experimenting at an early age now. You know, yeah, it's quite shocking because I started late. I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And talking to like a 14-year-old, and then a 14-year-old tells you that, no, I've already done this. It is quite shocking.
True.
But to men, now we spoke to a single man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about men who have abandoned their kids. What message do you have for them?
I'm gonna go back to my circle of friends.
Yeah.
Like, like I don't wanna make it sound like we are perfect.
Yeah.
But I know that but to make it a limbo in my circle, they work hard towards becoming better people. Just was it this week or last week? Medina Bill status since our people were shocked. Actually clinicking, bringing his baby boy there in the clinic. At least he's the mother is working, and then he's a stay-at-home dad. Is taking care of the child. We are all hustlers. That's what we are called. We are all hustlers. And I think Mautiapai, the reason why they think that a child comes with expenses, responsibilities, and everything. But we just have to be there. That's what I've realized so far. You just have to be there. Just answer the call. Just be there. We are not ATMs. But what these ladies need more than anything, and also the other thing that I've realized is that guys don't know how to deal with women who are going through pregnancy with the hormones. They just have to understand that maybe it's the hormones. When she gets heated up, the conversation gets heated up, the guy jumps there and then that's another problem really more as black men of South Africa, as black men Mokasi, having Banabasing accounted for, because the anger here we see in the house, it will tell the child. So we just have to be there. It's about you being there. Just be there. Like it's a two-way road, man. Like, it takes two to tango, After what am I spanning, take care of the child. I will know you're hustling, and then go to the hustle. That's what I've seen my friends do. Preacher has one over 10 years, and so and then also we have to take care of one another, like when you need assistance, because I'm not guys, I'm about to become a father, and then motivate future, buy expensive bottles, start celebrating. Why don't we have a barber shower? Why don't we have a barber shower so that when you go to the girl's place, your friends have helped you halfway, and then you have lesser load to think straight. You're about to become a father now, and then we have to be a different generation. I guess the mistakes still doing get time at our own and then by the very same generation.
I guess it also means that men, when they impregnate, they should be transparent as well.
True.
Because sometimes you don't even know that your friend impregnated someone. And then,
and then they just disappear. The mother of the child started with the child, whatever. At that time, during weekends, you're always drinking with this guy. You're always drinking with this guy. How can you say you do not have money to raise a child when we're always here with you drinking?
Wow, my guy, thank you for the conversation. This is a very intense one, especially because it touches on a serious topic.
True.
A topic that most people avoid, and we really touched on a lot of factors that I feel a lot of people watching this will feel like, yo man, this is a topic that a lot of men should talk about. Give me a date. When is a Phenomental Men conference?
Father's Day,
ne?
When is Father's Day this year?
We'll find it. I don't know. I'll put it here somewhere. I don't know if
let's find Father's Day, the date, and then we set up Phenomental Men conference.
All right. So where okay, should I put? People should follow you on socials, ne?
Yeah, people should follow me on my socials.
Okay, I'll put the social the handles, Instagram, Twitter. Will you do it?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'll put it down so that you guys know, and follow Hlox. because I know he will do it, and I'll be there assisting as well, right? And then Fundamental Boys program is still carrying on. Also follow me on my socials, which I'll put in the description, and then you get to see everything that we're doing to help men and young boys to be better people. We are so tired of GBV cases. We're so tired of men doing things because of their own insecurities, because most of these men that end up doing this, it's not even about the women, it's about our own issues as men. We're not willing to look at ourselves as wrong, and we're willing to just react, beat up, kill, rape, and do all of these things which are unnecessary. So we need to look at each other and say, yo man, that's not right.
True. You know? And also what I was saying this week was that we need centers, rehabilitation centers. Like if I want to be rehabilitated as a man right now, where do I go? If a young boy wants to stop doing drugs anymore, where does he go? Like it cannot be just death or prison. We need such places where, you know what, I think I'm abusive. I need to go find help. You know, I need to go seek help. Like go see songe, gender-based violence, brothers for life, things like that. We need more of those programs in our communities, because we cannot just say you must change, but then where do I go so that I can change? If you want to alcohol, you go to your AA meetings. Like we need such places where men, especially in townships, because boys and men can go there and then get rehabilitated so that they can become better people.
My guy, thank you for coming to the program.
Thank
you for coming to Refine Talks. We really hope that this conversation adds value to you. Please share it with whoever you think needs to hear this. A brother, a young boy, or a single mom, or whoever. Please share this with them and let them contact us on the social media handles if they want to know more information about the work that we're doing. This has been Refine Talk. Thank you, Hlox Rebel, for coming through.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, see you guys next time.
Salute, Refine Talks.